How do you work from home? It's likely that you're either working from home now or you'd like to. It's something that most people in the developed world have been able to do at one time or another. Some like it a lot, others less so, and most somewhere in between. One of the biggest challenges, however, is to know how to do it. Is it as simple as putting a shirt on top while wearing your jammies at the bottom and then showing up for a Zoom call at the appointed time? The differences between working from home and going to an office as an employee are striking. The challenges are different too, and there's much more to it than most people realize. For instance, most business premises don't have TVs, or streaming movies, or pets, or children. If you have a job, then your boss decides what breaks you can take and for how long. Most managers expect you to start at a particular time every day and tell you when you can go home. They tell you how much time you can take off for vacation in a year and when you can go. And after all that, they may still expect you to respond to emails, phone calls, or even come to the office on weekends, public holidays, and stay later than your normal working hours. And depending on the time of year when you're expected to go to the office, it's possible that you won't see the light of day from the time you arrive until you leave. That could be because you work in a concrete box. Or maybe you have windows, but they're tens of stories in the air, and the only signs of nature you experience are in the form of the occasional potted plant, real or fake. If you work from home, and you really are at home, then you have other things to think about. You have all the distractions of home life at your fingertips. There'll be a TV with streaming movies. There may be pets or children too. It'll be up to you when to take breaks and how long they'll be. Your workday will start when you decide it will, and that could be at a different time every day, and even on different days of the week. And you may decide that you'd rather work on a table in your backyard, or a nearby park, or in a coffee shop. You may remember that when you were employed, that you couldn't always be sure of having holidays off, such as Christmas or New Year's Day. If too many of your peers wanted the same weeks in the summer, then sometimes you didn't get the dates that you wanted because the people with the most seniority got first choice. When you work from home for yourself, you have complete control. You may have some client responsibilities, but you can plan your work around it, rather than having to plan your vacation around your work. If you work on weekends, then it's because you choose to. If you work during your normal off-duty time, it's because you choose to. But you have to exercise a special discipline in order to divert your mind from the distractions at home to the business at hand. You have to be the CEO, the middle manager, and the employee of the month every day, and all at the same time. How do you do that? The first thing you must do is designate a special place to work. You get extra credit if you can tailor it in such a way as to make it unique. Some writers and music composers have sheds or rooms where they work. Those that don't have that luxury of that extra space may temporarily decorate their space for when they work. This might be on the kitchen table or in the corner of the basement. One writer hung a sign on his chair so his family would know not to disturb him. Some writers will drink from the same coffee cup or use a special pen. Best-selling author Mark Batterson takes his shoes off when he writes because he believes that writing is an act of worship. Any and all of those things tell your subconscious that when you use them and do those things, then you're at work. The next thing you must do is to create a schedule. Schedules aren't carved in stone. You may have to revise it every day to reflect what actually happens. But if you don't have one, then you won't hold yourself accountable for that time. And if you don't do that, then you will never accomplish very much. Your time is your own, but you still have to use it wisely. You still have to do the work during the time that you have, because if you don't manage yourself, no one else will. The third thing is that you must take breaks periodically. You'll hear me talk about this a lot. Some take a break when their concentration begins to wane. Some do it at predetermined intervals, every 20 minutes, for instance, just to stand up or drink some water. Others might work for 45 minutes, an hour, or longer. It's up to you, but you need to take these breaks. You also need to finish each day with energy left over. This will ensure that you fully recover for the next day. You'll learn the hard way that if you work too much and flame out, that you won't be as productive or able to concentrate the next day. In fact, it might take you a couple of days just to get back to normal. Distractions at home are one reason why some people prefer to go to an office. At an office, they're not constantly reminded of all the things they need to do at home. This may be part of the attraction of coffee shops. National and state parks are great venues too, if the weather is good. In any case, research has shown that people work better when they spend time in nature. It turns out that the color green is neutral. It's easier on your eyes than any other color. And quite often, these places are quiet too, especially during the week. Just the occasional birdsong. When you work from home, your responsibilities change, as do the potential for distractions. But the freedom that you have to choose the work you do, the time and the place that you do it in, more than makes up for it. How do you work from home? You treat this privilege with respect. You create a special place to work. That may mean a separate room, but it's also possible that your space will be used by others at your house at different times of the day, and that means that you have to personalize your space for the time that you use it so that your brain knows that you're at work. You also need to create a schedule. A schedule is nothing more than a plan for how you will use your time. You should expect to have to change your plans. Don't be afraid to do it. The key is to hold yourself accountable for the time that you spend doing your work. A schedule is just one way to do that. The third thing you need to do, and this should be built into your schedule, is to take breaks. Short ones during the day, a full day off each week, and a proper vacation every few months. How do you work from home? When your time is your own, it's entirely up to you. If you found this video helpful, then please like it and subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to learn more ways to hack your life or your business by following psychological principles, then get my ebook, The Importance of Why. The link is in the description. I'm Dr. Bruce Hoag.